to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
This is episode number 2, where we do some Foley work for a film, and one of us is feeling old. Hey there, welcome to episode number 2 of the Chris and Sam podcast.
Hey, hello.
That's a very cheery hello. So second podcast. So got a head around all this recording equipment, I think.
Yeah, we'll talk about getting your head around recording equipment. We got to talk about this because we've just come back from a proper studio. You know, I'm not saying that my garage here with your little mixing table isn't a proper studio.
I just want to paint a picture here. There's 2 couches. We're facing each other. There's a little tiny coffee table in front of me with the laptop running. Next to me is your motorbike. There's clothes hanging everywhere. It's like some sort of Chinese laundry going on. And yeah, but we did actually end up in a proper studio earlier to do Foley work for
Red on the Green.
Yes, which is
movie.
a Tropfest film that you're involved with.
Yep.
And initially, the studio we booked was very, very high tech.
Oh my God. What got me is Adam was talking to me. Adam's the director of the film. I'm the producer. Adam was talking to me and I went, "Ooh, did you see that?" Because she clicked a mouse and all the buttons on the desk moved.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You've got these, one of these huge audio desks with all that crap on it. And I was like, wow, that's freaky. We couldn't figure out how to use it.
Even the person came in that's supposed to know how to work it, came in and sort of fluffed around. And she managed to get the computers working, which was something. But we didn't get much further than that. And we found out that we could actually use the much simpler studio down the hall, which was great.
Which was just all software-based.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still a studio. We had to be in the other room. We're behind glass. One of us, Sam, was on the headphones getting instructions from the control room as to what we wanted for Foley. So if you don't know what Foley is, every time somebody gets smacked in the face, somebody's got to make that noise because you don't pick it up when you're actually doing the filming. Not that we have a lot of smacking in the face, but we had a glass eye rolling on the ground and we had knuckle cracking. I should have done that.
Yes.
But unfortunately, I did that a little early and prematurely cracked my knuckles. And
There's
so
probably a name
it
for that condition somewhere. I don't know what it is, but someone somewhere is trying to market that right now.
So there's 3 of us standing around a microphone with little bits of carrot, breaking carrot to simulate the cracking of knuckles. It was an interesting experience.
It is a very interesting experience. I haven't done that before, and yeah. So you sort of have to think outside of the box. So it's like this thing has to hit this thing, and you're like, okay, when you do that sound, it doesn't sound right. So you need, like a movie effect sound. So you got to do it differently.
Yeah. So we had what were some of the more interesting ones? We had a couple of bodies falling. So I was doing dive rolls and frickin' all sorts of stuff. Way more strenuous than I thought it was going to be. When I went in there, I thought we'd be rolling balls around and stuff, which is a little bit of what we had to do.
Yeah, well, you have to do very exaggerated movements to get the sound. Remember, nothing's being filmed, only the audio is being recorded to match up to what's on the film later on. So, yeah, no, definitely an experience.
And freaking hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Anyway, so what are we talking about on this podcast?
We haven't discussed this. We need to get organised.
Organisation. That's for...
Are you going to throw that out the window?
Yeah, just throw that out of the window.
Oh, okay. The big thing on social media at the moment, we talked about this in the car. 2 things. One's the chocolate milk from Whittaker's. And Lewis Road Creamery. I haven't tried it, and I am one of those people that love trying new products as soon as they come out, but the hype's just so huge here. They've got guards standing at supermarkets making sure people only get their 1 bottle, and they have to update their website of exactly when the deliveries are. At what point does this get too much? I don't know. Probably when they're following the vehicles so they don't get robbed. I don't know. But the bottles are selling on Trade Me $30 a bottle. People are making money and exploiting other people's weirdness. I don't know. And the other random...
All I can think is that's the best marketing ever. I mean, that's what you want to do if you're marketing a product. You want everybody talking about it. My flatmate, who knows nothing about anything, like she's just not switched on to what's happening in the world, if you like. She knows about it, and she's going, oh, she told me about the guard thing, by the way, because I didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy. So definitely, the marketing's amazing. I don't think they realised the demand was going to be that huge. So it'll be interesting to see. They're talking about possibly bringing out new flavours later on once they fix their demand for the chocolate milk. So it'll be a bit interesting. But by then, will the demand still be there? I think that a lot of the marketing hype and a lot of the craziness is because it's limited. If it was unlimited, it would have gone crazy for the first week, and then it would have just died down, and it would have been an expensive bottle of chocolate milk right next to the Primo.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
do they still have Zap?
No. Okay. Zap went out like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't tried anything since Zap. No, I used to like Zap.
I'm shaking my head. No,
the other thing you were going to say.
What was the other thing? Oh, social medias. If you've been checking out anything, you'll notice everyone's going on about Renee Zellweger and her crazy new look. I assume it's the same person, but it doesn't look like the same person. She must have had some sort of facial reconstruction, although she's not admitting that. But you really need to check out this photo.
I'm going to have to look at it because I haven't been doing much on the social media for the last week or so. I've just been far too busy, which is really sad because normally I'm on there quite a bit. But yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. Social media and the internet isn't the be all and end all of being alive and doing stuff. So, what you have to realize, and what I do is, if you need to turn it off, just turn it off. Walk away. Yeah, and if you can't, then you maybe got a problem. I don't know. Talk to someone.
Yeah,
not someone on the internet.
Yeah, no, I haven't been missing it or anything like that. It's just
Well, that's the thing. I'll go through. At the moment, I'm reasonably active on Twitter, but sometimes you just have a whole month or whatever, and you just can't be bothered talking to anyone, and you're not really missing out on anything. Anything really important, someone will get hold of you.
Yeah, absolutely. We both look to the door because we hear some steps.
Yeah. I'm sure your flatmate, someone's going to come in a minute and go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, no, that's all right. As long as she doesn't put the washing machine on, which happens to be in my garage.
Yeah, that's always a problem when you're setting up podcasting. A podcast in general. Be aware of when the washing machine needs to be used.
Or don't set it up next to the washing machine.
I'm pretty sure I read that online somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. So, tell us about. So, did we talk about Spark?
No, we haven't spoken.
Spark?
We haven't spoken about Spark. We spoke about the marketing summit last time.
Right. Okay. So, do you want to tell me about Spark? Or shall I explain what it is first?
You can explain what it is, and then I'll tell you what it was like.
So I used to work for a company in New Zealand called Telecom New Zealand, who don't exist as such anymore. They're now named Spark. And before I left, I was there for a long time. I was involved with helping run the Telecom One Innovation Unconference. And we used to get about a third of technical people in telecom, a third of non-technical people in telecom, and a third of non-telecom at all. And they were just really cool people, real out there thinkers, happy to talk about anything and really engaging. And so we'd get together for a weekend. Company pays for all the food and the booze and stuff like that, and basically have a ball. So I brought Sam along last year to the telecom one. And then because I've left, I wasn't invited this year to Spark Innovation Unconference. I'm so upset. But no,
for some reason, they decided to invite me again. So what could I do? I went along.
So was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. There was less people than that was expected or invited. And to paint the picture here, I do have to state it's held at a high school. We use their classrooms, all the meals are there, and you can sleep in a tent on the field. You can sleep Marai styles in the library, and that's what I did this year.
Which is, Marai styles, for those that don't know, is lying on the floor
with a
scrubber mattress with a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
All of you.
So it's like an indoor camping, but, with 50 people in there. And or some people went away to a motel, I think. and came back.
You lose a bit out of the experience.
I think so. Yeah, and it was a shame that some people didn't come because it was held there. It's an unconference, which means it's not a traditional thing. And
unconference, there's no agenda. The agenda's made on the fly, on the day, and you can sort of switch around. It's hard to explain. And as a trainer, I was a corporate trainer at Telecom. When I first heard about it, I was like, no, that won't work. But
it's definitely
amazingly well.
Big company people wouldn't understand it. So it was really, really cool. A lot of interesting people. There was the name escapes me, and that's not good. I think it was Melanie. Melanie was there with her still, and
a still.
And yeah, well, she wasn't using the still. She just brought it to show us. But she had a wide selection of moonshine, so that was pretty good. There was bacon, bourbon, apple pie moonshine, which was amazing, and a whole bunch of different other things, and learned all about how to make it. Tim was there from MindKits, and MindKits, if you don't know, supplies robotics and electronics and 3D printing equipment to people, and is really involved in the education scene at the moment, and he's really great. I've followed him a while on Twitter, so it was great to meet him. And he had a cool little quadrocopter / drone. It was very little, and it had a HD camera in it, and he was flying it around inside, and it was really cool.
So when you say little, what, like a foot long sort of thing?
Oh, it was probably 20 centimetres square.
20 centimetres square?
Yeah, and he flew it in the kitchen and around the place, and it was. I think he said it was about $120, and it came with the controller and everything. And it had a pro mode and a normal mode, and the normal mode sort of did all the turning and stuff, so it wasn't so sharp. And then the pro mode let you do flips and, crash it into the wall and stuff. So that was all good. And there was Ben, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the company was that Ben worked for. But when I first met him, he said he made rubber bands with Bluetooth in them. So that was a bit crazy. And anyway, when you get more into it, he's actually the CEO of an amazing company. They have these elastic sort of straps with a monitor on the end that talks to your cell phone. And then that stuff's used medical, rehabilitation, physio, actually anything anyone wants. And they will build the platform to get the data that you want from his rubber bands with Bluetooth. They're worldwide. They've got people working on all around the world. And
So it measures when things stretch, how far they stretch.
Yeah.
So you put it on your leg or whatever to do the muscle so you can see how many times you're flexing.
Well, the example he had was just a straight piece, and as he pulled it, a bar moved on his phone, and that was it in the simplest form. But all these companies will come back to him and say, we want to be able to record whatever, and then, they build an app for the company. So it's pretty cool. That's
pretty cool. How old was that dude?
Oh, he was young. I think he was younger than me, so in his 20s. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And actually the other really cool thing he had, which I checked out, and it was something that was brought up at the end. People next year, they want more gadgets to look at, be it through people bringing them or Spark, but a lot of people had smartwatches. Lots and lots of people. Lots of Pebbles and all sorts.
At the thing.
Yeah. But Ben had a Samsung Galaxy Gear 2.
Oh, yeah.
And as he put it, it's the ultimate stalker watch. There's a camera right at the top where the 12 would be, and he just pressed a button, and he was recording the fruit bowl. And he said, "Oh, this is just crazy." And what he actually uses it for, and he's...
Do we want to... Can we put this on the podcast?
Yeah, we sure can. So he's a new dad, and I think his little girl's less than a year old, maybe 7 months. And if you pull a normal traditional camera out, she knows, like straight away. At 7 months old, they know that you're taking a photo, and they do not like it. They'll either cry or screw their face up. But with the camera on the watch, he said he can just take a video or a photo of her just hanging out in her cot. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So what other talks did you attend?
I did a talk on what the news would be like if it was customized for myself, and that was talking about how news is presented to people.
Right, you did that talk?
No. I went to that talk.
Yep.
There was another talk I went to, which was, "Is this the golden age for gamers?" And there was.
So this hashtag Gamergate thing, was that anything to do with that?
No. No. This is just talking about the current consoles and PC gaming that is out there.
Yeah.
And is it better now than it ever has been compared to old-time games? So a lot of the talk was about how the games now are more of a whole experience, cinematic, plus the gameplay, plus story-based, and just getting bigger and bigger. Whereas, obviously, in the past, it was more about the gameplay, but was the gameplay better in the past than it is now?
What was the consensus? Or there wasn't one?
The consensus was this is the best gaming we've ever had.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of talk about historic retro games and people just remembering all sorts of things.
Oh man,
and
Elite. Elite was awesome.
Well, it was a broad range, and you think of talk about gamers, it's going to be young people. No, there was a broad range of people, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. And did you talk on anything while you were there?
Yes, I did. I did a session on the logistics of turning a giant pumpkin into a boat. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think people learned how, the intricacies of doing that and how we did it last year. Yeah,
because, are you really an expert? You've only done it once. Okay, I know you're the only person in New Zealand to have done it, but does that make you an expert?
Well, isn't an expert someone that's done something for 10,000 hours? Isn't that the definition now? No, so I'm not an expert in that regards, but yes, I was one of the 2 people that have only ever done it in New Zealand before. So we've had that experience. We went through the whole thing, and if you need advice for that sort of thing, just get hold of me.
Yeah. Go to giantpumpkins.co.nz, and I'm sure
there'll be something
will
there.
Be there.
There'll be something there.
All right. So, we haven't got any other projects that we've been working on since the last time we've been talking or anything?
No, I don't think so.
So, any stories? Do you want to tell a story?
No, I can't think of anything.
What about...
Actually, I was thinking about something, because this is going to come up every now and then. You suggested an app to me a while back, and I thought, I don't know if I'll use that. But I think it's really good, and it's future text.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that you program text messages up to a year or more in advance for people's birthdays.
Yeah, I could happen to do that.
Oh, you could do that. Okay, I don't know if that's general knowledge or not, but it is now. So basically, you can pre-program text messages for whenever, and this message sends them out. I use it when I work really late at night, and I need to send a text message in the morning, but I know I'll be asleep.
Yeah, because I do the same thing, but not because I'm going to be asleep, but because it's too early to text that person. I don't want to forget.
Oh, right.
So I'll set it for a time that's sort of friendly for the recipient. Yeah.
It's really good. It's open source.
Yeah.
And there's free. No ads, and it looks really good. And we are talking about Android here.
Yeah, it's Android.
Better say that. So I think there's probably...
Because you probably spend $200 on iPhone and you get one just as good.
That's a bit rough. But there'll definitely be versions out there for iPhone.
Yeah, I would think
or
so.
Apple products. So check them out. But you said you came up with a story?
Oh, no, I was just thinking...
I'll tell you what we were going to talk about, and we're thinking you were going to talk about the... I don't know how you put it, but this is how I heard it. How hard you're finding it being old and crazy going back to karate.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I started karate in 1986. Yeah, I think it was.
Just to put things in perspective, I was 4 then.
Yeah, so I was working then. And so, one of the guys in the warehouse wanted to get back there. So I got into karate then. And I got into it in a big way. Ended up getting my black belt back in, 89. So actually, it's 25 years this year
That's crazy.
Ago that I got my black belt.
I'm beginning to wonder how old you actually are.
Old. So anyway, so I've recently gone back to, and I ran a club in Wellington for a few years. And then when I moved up here 16 years ago, pretty much stopped training. I trained for a bit, but then I ended up working nights and it stuffed things up. So I haven't done anything for ages. Anyway, I've recently got back into it. I'm getting fit. I'm feeling pretty fit.
Yeah.
Until Monday night.
What's Monday night? Is this just normal training?
Normal training night, but this particular Monday night we did our warm-ups and we were did a lot of bag work.
Oh.
So it's not the hanging bags, but the big pads that you hold.
Yeah.
And so we'd have like three in threes, groups of three. One guy in the middle, two guys with the pads, and you're just pounding them, moving around, kicking, punching for a minute.
I'm feeling tired just listening to this.
Minute and then switch, minute then switch, minute then switch, and we did like 3 rounds. So the guys I'm doing this with are like in their 20s. And
are they all black belts as well? I forgot to ask you that.
No, they were blue and yellow belts pretty much. So sort of low to middle grades. But yeah, they're really fit. And I thought, I was getting fitter, and I'm fitter than I have been for a while. And oh my God, yeah, the age does make a difference, So.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's so frustrating when you know that you used to be as fit as them, and with the experience, I can do things a lot better than them. So now I've just got to be real careful and do my, pick my moments. I can still do a good spinning back kick or whatever.
I'm sure, but I think that's what sometimes people have to realise that you're getting older and you're not as agile, or possibly recovery takes a bit longer.
And it's funny, it does. Recovery does take a lot more.
Oh, I know. I just thought of something that I was going to ask you about earlier.
Yep.
Now you won. What's the thing on your wrist?
Oh yeah, it's VivoFit,
which is a Garmin one.
Garmin,
Garmin.
That's the one.
It's like a Fitbit / whatever that tracks your life. I don't know.
It just
how are you finding that thing?
It's really good. I've been wearing it for ages, so I've just flicked over now. It's got red lines on it because I've been sitting down for a while here talking.
Is that bad? Is that its motivation? Here's some red
lines here. They start going across.
That makes me want to just take it off and put it down.
So I've done 12,958 steps today. So that's not bad, considering today was not a gym day. So I haven't done any. I didn't go to the gym or anything.
Oh, that's a good effort.
That's probably half of that's Foley work, running around in that Foley studio.
Yeah, it'll be that.
But yeah, so but going into karate, back into karate has been really good. I'm feeling pretty good about it, and sharing the knowledge, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, share the knowledge. All these young guys that can probably beat the crap out of you later. So I just realised something I'm going to talk about. We've got a list of stuff that we'll talk about in the future, and we'll be more organised in the future. Yeah.
We came running back from this Foley studio and I was like, quickly, let's knock out this.
Yeah, let's do another one. But have you come across, I don't know if you have or not, but people that just hate their job? Like, they're just there. I don't know why they haven't left yet. It's just crazy. And I've got an example, and I won't tell you where it is. And I won't even tell you what the shop is, because that's unfair, because I think they're a neat shop. But this person just sort of, she's an elderly lady, and I swear I've got the feeling she's been there a long time. I don't know. She just sort of grunts at you and then chucks the receipt at you. And this is a pure customer-facing role.
So this is like a shop or something?
Yeah, it's a main service type of shop thing, without going into detail. So she just grunts, and then I swear she's rolled her eyes at me once before and just doesn't want to be there. And the other day, she actually had trainee badge on. And I don't think she is a trainee. I think she's just got that so you don't know what her name is, so you can complain about her. It's like some sort of mad scheme to get away with being a complete idiot. So I don't like going there, and I definitely don't like being served by her.
Maybe it's old people that just had enough and they don't have to prove anything type thing. Or
no, I think they're over dealing with people. Maybe old people aren't too bad. Yeah.
No. When I say that, I mean we've all worked with somebody who's been there so long that they know it all, and you can't tell them anything new.
This is the next step. This person hates what they're doing. You can see it in their face, their body. If I don't know, they should just they probably can't do anything else. Maybe that's the thing. So maybe they should have upskilled like 30 years ago, or learnt something new. Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know. My last job, I was a little bit over it, and I stayed there because I was getting paid really well.
yeah,
and I had control over my time, and I didn't have to deal with customers.
But it's that comfort thing, isn't it? People get too comfortable. I was like that with my last job, and then just had enough and left. So
yeah. I got
Pretty happy
made
now.
redundant. But that's all right. I was working towards that.
Well, they gave you like massive amount of notice, eh?
Oh yeah. And
Yeah, they don't say,
and I got
"Oh."
a redundancy payout and stuff, and I
Excellent.
did nothing for a while, so that was awesome.
Yeah. It's like sort of winning lotto, but it's not.
Yeah. Actually, surprisingly, I did get quite depressed after a while
From not doing anything.
because that was my social life. Really.
Oh, yeah,
you know, going and seeing the same guys every day, having a joke, talking about what's happening and all that, and I really did.
I think people find that when they go from a big job to like working by themselves, like working for themselves, even it can be pretty hard.
Yeah, and I didn't expect that. There was the thing. I was just like, oh yeah, no, I'll be sweet, but it's like, whoa, this is a change. Yeah.
Ah.
So that was interesting.
I was going to say, it is the long weekend coming up, but this will be published after the long weekend, so I think we'll do a catch up after.
Yep.
I don't have too much planned.
I think what we should do is we will make I'm going to challenge you. How's that? I'm going to challenge you now.
So
Next time we have a podcast, you got to tell a story, and the story is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you.
The most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, so we'll tell a story that next time on the podcast, and you tell a story, I'll tell a story, or I'll tell mine next time, and you can tell yours the time after, or something like that.
I'm trying to think of what story I could tell for that scenario.
I'm trying to choose which one.
Yeah, well,
It's up to you.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
No, it's not a good thing.
Oh,
Trust
okay.
me, it's not. But which is probably why I chose that topic, because I know I have a lot of embarrassing stories.
oh, well, lucky someone does.
Oh yeah, well you can then choose to do something about how awesome you were, but you know.
Yeah, there might be a few there.
Don't think about it now.
No,
You've got a few days to think
Well,
about
I've got the whole long weekend. So.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this from overseas, this weekend's Labour weekend, we get the Monday off nationwide, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. To celebrate the fact that we have unions in New Zealand or something?
Yeah, back in the day, I think that was the deal, and they just carried it forward. So Labour weekend is traditionally the weekend that the last weekend you want to get your pumpkin started. That's about the only thing that's important to me. Yeah, just working on that.
Cool. So you actually are going to be planting this weekend?
Yeah, I'll get the seeds started, germinating, and then into some pots, and then they'll grow in the pots for a week or a bit, and then outside into the pumpkin patch.
Woohoo.
And then we'll go from there, as well as trying to organise things for the Pumpkin Carnival.
That's quite a way away, though, still. Does it really take that long to get that thing organised?
Yeah, it does. If you've ever organised an event, you're always chasing people and you're always trying to get help, especially if you run an event for free or basically on very little money. So you got to track down people that have got things that you need on the day, people that can help you out. Manpower is a big one that's quite hard to sort out. People always have the best intentions and want to help you out, but they get busy, and that's fine, and or they forget. Prizes, just all sorts of stuff.
Do you get a lot of sponsors? Because I know the radio station sponsors you guys.
Yeah, the local free FM, which is the local community radio station, they help us out with quite a bit.
Yeah.
Hamilton City Council helps us out, and we're slowly making all the connections. And I think a big part of that was because we did the pumpkin boat rowing last year, we got lots of media attention. So
yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was. It was weird. It was mind blowing. So if you imagine, we had two pumpkins that Tim grew, and
How big are these? Just so that people know.
One was 550 kilos and one was 450 kilos. We cut the tops out. Yeah, we paddled around in them, and as we were paddling out, in front of us there was nothing. And I said to Tim, as we're in the middle of this little lake thing, I said, this is really weird, because as soon as we turn around, there's all these people, and there was film crews and all sorts. Yeah, it was cool. It was an experience, definitely.
Yeah, it was cool because I was away that day. I was up in Auckland, unfortunately, because I was like, I'd so be down there. But yeah, I was in Auckland for work. But yeah, I saw it all on Campbell Live that night, and a little bit on the news as well. I was pretty impressed. Well, I think that's probably enough for today anyway. I think we'll wrap that up.
Yeah, I think we'll hopefully get a more organised podcast next time.
Yep. So if we didn't say this before, because I don't think we did.
No, we haven't in this podcast.
The Chris and Sam podcast.com.
Yes.
That's right. Isn't
Yes.
it? I did say it right.
I just had to think about that, but yes, that is the web.